Hi everyone, hope you're all doing good. So after seeing everyone's amazing entries for the Halloween competition, we decided we'd do a Christmas one. For this competition, there's 3 age categories. There's 4 to 6, 7 to 9 and 10 plus. And you can follow all the tutorials and make all the art pieces you want, but make sure you enter your own age category because that's the only category you can win a prize for. We have some really great prizes, so make sure your mammies and daddies send in pictures to Paul and Tracy on WhatsApp. So for the 4 to 6 age category, we have my colouring sheet of a gingerbread man that's just really simple and basic so that you can colour it in or add little details, whatever you want, and put your name and age at the top. If you're watching this on YouTube, there should be a link in the description to download this and print it off, or in the OneDrive folder if you're watching it there as well. Here's an example of the one I did. I just gave him some little Smarties on his belly, a heart, some little wiggly lines of icing, a little smiley face and some little swirly cheeks, but you can do whatever you want. I just wanted to show you what I did. For the 7 to 9 age category, I'm teaching you how to draw a snow globe with 2 little snowmen inside. And for the 10 plus category, I'm teaching you how to make a pop-up card with Santa inside and a 3D beard. This is the snow globe tutorial for ages 7 to 9. You'll need paper, a bowl, a pencil, a rubber, a pen, and lots of colours. To start off, place your bowl upside down on your piece of paper. Using your pencil, trace around the bowl so that you'll have a nice circle in the middle. Draw 2 short lines at the bottom of the circle. Join these up using a long arch shape. This will look like the base of the snow globe. Draw another arch line inside the circle, joining up the 2 short lines that you just did. Now for the snowmen, you're going to draw 3 light circles, all on top of each other. I overlapped my circles so that I could go back in and rub out the little lines in between so that it would look like real balls of snow sitting on top of each other. Once I rubbed out the little lines, I went back in and went heavier with my pencil so that I could really see what I'd just drawn. The top of these 3 circles is going to be your snowman's head, so draw a little arched line across the top and then another arched line above that. You can join these together with 2 straight lines. This is going to look like the band of their hat. I drew another little semicircle on top and a little wobbly shape so that it would look like it was wearing a woolly hat. I did a sideways triangle for the nose, 2 dots for eyes, and a U shape for a smiley mouth. For the scarf, I did 2 straight lines either side of its little head, an arched line across, and then I turned it into a stripy scarf by adding little straight lines all the way across. To make the scarf look long, I did a rectangle shape coming out of the line across its neck and filled that in with sideways stripes. For his arms, I just did 2 lines coming out of his body with shorter lines at the end to make it look like sticks. I started off my second snowman the exact same way with 3 light circles. I did an arch across the top of his head with 2 little lines coming out the side, and then a half square above his head. This is to make it look like a top hat instead of a woolly hat. I did another rectangle so it would look like a ribbon. Then I fixed all the little lines that I didn't want to be in the final drawing. Did another sideways triangle for his nose, 2 dots for his eyes, and a U shape for a smiley mouth. For the arms, I did 2 lines with little shorter lines either end so that it would look like twigs from trees. For the scarf, I did another arch, and this time I did 2 rectangles coming out either side of it. I made this one stripy too by adding sideways lines. I did lines straight up for the bit that goes around his neck. I then added 2 dots to the belly of each snowman so that it looked like lumps of coal. Then it was time to ink, so I went back in with my pen and drew over all of the pencil lines I did. You don't have to do this step, you can just go straight to colouring, but I like to do this because it makes everything look so much cleaner. Once I was finished doing all the ink lines, I used my rubber and rubbed out all of the pencil. Make sure your ink is dry before you start doing this, otherwise it'll smudge. Then I went and coloured my picture. I used lots of different colours, but you can do whatever colours you like. I also added snow using a blue crayon by drawing little circles and then colouring in around them. This is the pop-up Santa card tutorial for ages 10+. You'll need 2 pieces of card, a glass, a scissors, a pencil, a pen, a rubber, lots of colours, and some glue. To start off, place your glass on one of the pieces of card and trace around it using your pencil. You're going to be doing this 8 times, so I recommend doing it in the corner so you have enough room to fit them all. Make sure none of your circles overlap or that they don't go over the edge of the paper because you're going to need to cut them out and they have to be whole circles. Once you have all 8 circles drawn, use your scissors to cut them out. Be really careful not to hurt yourself and take your time. The circles don't have to be perfect either because they're all going to be stuck together, so don't worry if they're a little bit wonky. Mine definitely were. Take your circles and fold them in half. Once you've folded all your circles, there should be a line down the middle, making it into 2 halves on the front and back. Using your glue, put a little bit on the back of one half of the circle. Glue the back of another half circle onto this one you just put glue on. I'm making this sound a lot more complicated than it actually is. Repeat this process until all 8 circles are glued together. Make sure you're leaving a space in between and only glue the back of the circle. You don't want them to be just one pile of paper, you want it to be like a pom-pom. Once you have all the circles stuck together, you should be able to fold it back down until it's flat, but it should be able to open up into a pom-pom shape. Don't glue the front and back pieces together, you want them to stay flat so that we can place it inside a card and it'll be able to fold together. Now take your second piece of card and fold it in half. Open it up and place the little pom-pom shape you just made in the middle. I'm using a pencil to mark 2 little spots so that I know where it'll be on the page. Now for Santa's head, I'm drawing an arch shape just above where I drew my first little line. I'm drawing an oval nose, and 2 little dots for his eyes. For his eyebrows, I just did 2 little bushy shapes. For his hat, I just did a wobbly little cloud arch going across the top of his head and repeated that the whole way around so it looked like the fluffy band of his hat. For his hat, I did a big long arch shape over to the left, did a straight line up, and then joined it together to make a triangle shape. Then did another little wobbly shape to make the pom-pom on his hat. I drew two little arch shapes from under his nose up to his hat so it looked like his beard was joining his face. Then I took my pom-pom, placed it where it was going to be, and drew two little lines so that the beard joined up. Using my glue, I put it on the back of the two flat pieces of the pom-pom and glued it down into place. You want to make sure it's on the centre fold of the card so that it will fold together properly. Here's me testing to see if it works. For Santa's body, I used a pencil and drew a big swoopy shape all the way across. I ended up making it a little bit wonky, so I had to rub it out and do it again. For his legs, I just did two lines going towards each other, not quite like a triangle, but still going a little bit narrow at the end. For his feet, I just did two kind of rounded rectangles. And then for his arms, I did two arches, a line, and then for his hands, I did a little thumb and a big round shape and a line to look like his hand. Hands can be really hard to draw, but it's really nice to draw them simply when you're doing a Christmas card or something like that, because I just think they look really cute. For the cuffs of his sleeves, I just did two little lines at his wrists. For his belt, I did an arch shape all the way across his belly underneath his beard, and another one underneath. For his belt, I did one rectangle with another rectangle inside it. Then I went in with my pen and just drew over my pencil lines. And I rubbed out the pencil once it was dry. Now it's time to colour, so I used some colouring pencils and just did the simple Santa colours: red, black, yellow, white and peach and pink for his skin. But you can use whatever colours you like, you can go mad if you want. Then I decided to add some Christmas lights, so I just did two arch shapes with little tiny squares hanging out of them and then little coloured circles underneath the squares. It's a really nice simple way to draw Christmas lights, and they're really good for decorating empty space on Christmas cards. Then you can fold it up and put a cool design on the front, but I just want to show you how to do the inside, so I'm going to let you be creative with the front. And when you open it up, Santa and his beard. Thanks so much for following along the tutorial. I hope you had fun, and I'm really excited to see what you've all made. We'll be announcing the winners on New Year's Eve, so make sure you get in all your entries before then. Merry Christmas, bye!